Hello and a warm welcome to yet another episode of the Biz-Wiz talk show. Heartificial conversations. Yes, heart-to-heart conversations with business owners to learn from their wisdom. The objective of me doing this show is to help business owners learn from the wisdom of other business owners, consultants, entrepreneurs, specialists, the people who have been there, done it, seen it, experienced it all. When they share their wisdom, we get to learn a lot. And today, my guest is none other than Mr. Nayan J. Rwal, an IP strategist. He has more than 30 years of experience in counseling and advising clients regarding creation, protection, and commercialization of intellectual property rights, consulting and strategy in intellectual property, conducting intellectual property audits, valuation of intellectual property, public issue management, and competition law. In the intellectual property field itself, Nayan has prospected more than 1,500 trademark applications, has prospected more than 75 patents in the subject of pharmaceuticals and medical, electronics, information technology, mechanical, and more than 50 designs and 100 copyrights for individuals, corporates, and SMEs. He is also a speaker at various conferences at the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Institute of Company Secretaries of India, engineering institutes, and various other forums on the importance of intellectual property. It's an absolute pleasure to be inviting Nayan J. Rwal to this show. Welcome, Nayan Ji, to this Biz-Wiz talk show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shankar. Thank you so much.
And if you think I've missed out on anything, feel free to add. No worries at all.
No, it's okay. No, nothing.
All right. Let's just get started then. So I know that you've been in this field for more than 30 years now. However, when did it all start? What inspired you? You're also a company secretary. What inspired you to get into this intellectual property business? And what's the core vision driving it forward?
Yeah, so it's something like this that after the liberalization and a period of liberalization, there were lots of changes, and particularly after 1995, when internet came into existence, the information and the information and a lot of technological things started becoming raw material, which started flowing from one corner of the world to the other corner of the world at a click of button, which was very restricted before 1995. The existence of and the advent of internet has changed the life and changed the business strategies all over the world, wherein the important intellectual properties like brand, trademark, patents, technology, innovations, these all factors started becoming more and more important. And that's where I started realizing that internationally it is not no more a old age coal tar economy. It's basically an information age economy or digital economy, which we were transferring from 1995.
Wow. So you're telling me that be attuned with what is happening in the latest, whether it is in economy or
Yeah.
in the technology or any other field. That was
Yes.
your inspiration to get into this. And you're
Yes.
talking 25, 30 years back means you're talking about the 90s, late 90s almost,
Late
isn't it?
90s. Yes.
Brilliant, brilliant. So, yes, it all started there. And you've been in this journey for the last 30 years, which very few people in this country have. What are some of the challenges or obstacles you faced during this journey? And how did you come out of that?
See, I'll tell you very frankly, intellectual property law is not something new to India. Let me very frankly tell you, I feel proud to say that the first trademark in the whole world was generated 3,000 years ago by India. In those days,
Wow.
we used to send the Indian sculptures and antique pieces from India to Middle East, and they were very fond specifically of those sculptures and the antique pieces which are actually carved and engraved by the Indian artists and craftsmen. So, and in return, we used to, that time it was a barter economy, so we used to get a lot of things from there. But later on, people started using their sculpture to depict as the Indian culture or scriptures. So that's where these Mughals had requested us to identify our sculptures and our antique pieces. So the first engraved signature in those days became the first trademark of the world, and
Okay.
that's how the journey was of India. But unfortunately, a lot of things have changed for centuries and years. So it is something which we have given to the India, and it was nurtured
Mhm.
outside India, and now it is coming back again to India. The most
Okay.
important thing is that we are not realizing the kind of knowledge and information which we have in our country, which can be leveraged for various purposes. It's not only for business; it's also for enriching the culture, enriching the art, everything through intellectual property. The challenge is that we are not having awareness about the subject. There's much, very less that people know about intellectual property. It is since
Mm.
only 2001 that this subject started being taught formally, even as a syllabus for the law students. Before that, intellectual property was not known. It's only after this later on that we have realized, so we are having lots of awareness, non-awareness issue about this subject, and people not aware that this can be used or leveraged for the business purpose.
Okay, so uh, as I hear you say that the non-existence of formal awareness is the major obstacle that you faced in
Hmm.
order to sustain or grow this business or take it forward. What a beautiful lesson there. So sometimes we may have all the knowledge as a business owner, but if the
Mhm.
outside world is not aware of it,
Yeah,
that's a big problem, isn't it? Brilliant,
yeah,
brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, there were these challenges, and I'm sure that you would have made a lot of mistakes as well in your journey that you have taken thus far. What
yeah.
are some of the mistakes that, well, to call them mistakes is a wrong thing. However, I would still say, what mistakes did you make, and what were your learnings from that that our viewers can avoid making those mistakes?
See, the mistake or the, you can say, the gap between me and the people to whom I was trying to deal on intellectual property. One, of course, the awareness. The second
Sure.
is that non-educating means it was better for me that I should educate people that what is the what is the something which is going to help you out of this. Whenever I had been prospecting a trademark or a patent or any type of intellectual property, the first thing being asked is what is the cost. So I
Hmm.
used to I used to feel very dejected why people are bothered about cost. But then I realized that I need to explain them that this is not the cost for registering or prospecting a particular IP. You are creating or you're buying an asset. So, do you
Hmm.
think that when you buy a flat, you do have your budget, but do you think when within budget you will bother about the cost because you are creating an
Hmm.
asset? So this is what I thought that I should actually bring awareness about, that this is not only a registration. Actually, this is an asset, or it is going to
Hmm.
be a huge business value asset in future, because it is going to contribute more than 30-40% to your business. You may be having a
Mhm.
manufacturing facility, you may be having a lot of things, like it's very simple. uh, if a water bottle or a mineral bottle water bottle is sold without a brand, will anybody buy that?
Hmm.
Nobody will buy.
Interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, nobody
Correct.
will buy. So how much
Correct.
contribution is of a brand in your business? Now that is what,
Hmm.
when I started explaining this to the people, they started realizing that what is importance about a brand or an intellectual property.
Wow. So that's the mistake you made initially, and you corrected that by creating the awareness.
Yes, yes.
Super.
Or rather,
Could you?
bringing the understanding to the people that what are the benefits of IPR to them.
What are the benefits of IPR? Okay, brilliant.
What
Could
do
you
we,
share?
what do we lose?
Sorry,
What they will lose if they don't do this?
what they will lose if they don't do it. Brilliant. Could you share one simple case study, maybe for our audience to understand how a company either leveraged their intellectual property or lost out on leveraging their any one case study, simple case study.
I will not name the company for the sake of
That's fine.
the privilege.
That's fine.
Uh, there was one company who wanted to go for a public issue, and then they had filed their required offer documents with the regulatory authorities, and they wanted to have a kind of a price band, or they wanted to have a premium, and they wanted to have a floating price band, so that the price discovery mechanism, and they have a good amount of premium for that public issue. The
Sure.
regulatory authorities were not comfortable as far their financials were concerned, or their business valuation was concerned. So it was just a pure business valuation on the terms of the sales and the fixed assets and the kind of factories or something else which they were earning. So
Sure.
there was no, and after this situation, there was a very short time where then they had to go and float that public issue. So what should be done? So I had recommended that why don't you do a brand valuation? See, it could help them something here and there. It may not be a great
Mm,
big valuation which will add to your business valuation, but it could be of some help. So that can at least do that. And
sure.
somehow everybody agreed to it, and they did this brand valuation. And the best thing is that they did the brand valuation through an international authority or international consultant. It
Okay.
was very surprising that when they did the brand valuation, the valuation of the brand itself was more than the balance sheet value. So
Oh,
it
wow.
was almost 3x or 4x than their existing balance sheet value. And
Wow.
absolutely amazing. And they didn't expect it that this could really help them in actually enhancing their prospectus or an offer document in such a way that even the regulatory authorities were also happy, and they could satisfy the investors that why and what they are going to do it. And believe
Super.
us, the result was then when they went to the public, that issue was oversubscribed for more than 10 times. And that also they had
Wow.
come out in an issue. It was a difficult time of public issues. But still, in that
Wow.
difficult time, that company had oversubscription of more than 10 times.
Wow. Wow. What a brilliant lesson. I mean, people who think that their brands are not valuable or not even bothered to look at what kind of brands they have, if they are hearing this, I think it's a wake-up call, guys. To each one out there, the business owners, even the startups, don't underestimate the power of your brand. It'll ultimately, otherwise it'll happen like who stole my intellectual property. You may be sitting on something valuable and somebody else may go and register it. Brilliant, Nayan J. Thank you for sharing that. All right, so what is the next big goal for your business? You've been in this IP consulting, IP strategy for the last 30 years. What is the next big goal for your business and how do you
My
plan to achieve it?
next big goal is to actually see that there's a lot of awareness about IP in terms of the business value, and IP
Sure.
in terms of even a non-business value. Because I have seen the clubs and sports clubs and the sports associations making money out of intellectual property. If an
Okay.
association or an non-commercial organization can make money out of their intellectual property, how much money
Mhm.
even a business organization can make? So what is
Wow.
important is to have a strategy about what is intellectual property, creating helping organization to create a right kind of culture for innovation. Because if innovation happens, IP will happen, and if IP happens, the business value is going to get surely enhanced because of these two factors.
Wow. If innovation happens, IP will happen. And if IP happens, it's going to add to the business value. Wow. And that's your next business goal or a big goal for you
Yes,
to be able to scale your business, creating that awareness. Wow.
sure.
Excellent. Excellent. I wish you all the best. As a parting message, what is the one or two key insights or advice that you can give to our viewers, which will be crucial for them to grow their business from the intellectual property point of view?
The first thing is that I want people or the small entrepreneurs uh, to remove the myth in their mind that R&D requires huge investment. R&D can even happen without huge investments. It's only nothing
Okay,
but you have to think something differently in form of a strategy, in form of a culture. If you sow the seed today, it will really give you fruit tomorrow. So it's not that
wow,
you need to have a huge investment in R&D. R&D can even happen without innovation, without you being an engineer, without you being
wow,
having a big resources for doing research. Research and development can happen even without a huge expenses of R&D. It's only you have to have that design thinking approach where you can absolutely
sure,
bring the new products, or you can be innovative even with your existing products. It's the customer experience. It is the customer experience which you have to give through innovation and design thinking of your new products or even the existing products.
sure.
So that's possible.
Wow,
It's only thing is
that
that you
is
need to have the right strategy and the right mindset and the right culture around you, which can make people think that they can really do it.
wow. So what I take away is that while business owners think that intellectual property is very expensive to create, it is not. You're saying that the research can be done even without huge investments. It is important to have the right mindset, create the right culture within the organization, and use innovative methods like design thinking, possibly in order to be able to create the right IP to grow their business. Isn't it?
Yeah,
This is what I am taking away as a key learning. Wow. Thank you, Nayan Ji, so much for taking the time out from your busy schedule to do this interview. I am
my
really grateful to you. And that's all, viewers, in this edition of the Biz-Wiz Talk Show. If you want to learn more about how to grow your business, do visit my website, https://shankarvishwanath.com, where you will get a lot of resources to download free from my website. You will also get a free ebook to download, using which you will get key action points that you can take in the next 90 days to grow your business. Until next time, this is Shankar Vishwanath signing off, and take good care of yourself. Goodbye and God bless. Thank you. Thank you.
thank you.